It used to drive me crazy to realize that my friends don't actually know me. I even physically attacked a friend for wrongly assuming stuff about me. Well, now I ask myself, yes, they didn't understand you, but did you? Did you really understand who you were? In the last couple of months, I realized that I really did not understand myself, like until now. I really felt lonely all the time and resented people for not really trying to get to know me, and I believe that if they really tried, then they would see what an interesting person I was. I was very angry and bitter and resentful person because of this. But someone did try and he became my husband. I did spend a lot of time trying to understand what was wrong with me, but I never actually believed in the possibility that there wasn't anything wrong with me. And I did choose to show all my sides to him, even when there was a risk of losing him. But luckily he said, I see you from all angles and still love you. And thanks to that affirmation, I could learn to love myself. But what if I didn't meet him? Could I still learn to love and accept all my sides without anyone else's validation? Well, technically no, and that's because it wasn't my husband's job to teach me to love myself. It was actually my parents' job. But it's a very difficult job, and it's even more difficult if you have a child like me, who is born to do things that go against all traditions and rules. Showing unconditional love is hard, especially when your child wants to do things that you believe might put them in danger. As a parent, if you don't know how to say, I love you and I worry for your safety, I just want you to be happy and healthy, and I worry that if you do this, you will be in danger. It's easy for a child to believe there are limits to your love, even if that's not the case. This is the saddest misunderstanding there is. It's the miscommunication that plagues us for decades. But what if your parents really did not love you? And you don't have anyone else to validate you for who you are? Well, that's really what therapists are for. A good therapist can sit there and listen to all your crazy thoughts, beliefs, and actions, and then tell you if you are actually a horrible person who doesn't deserve love, or if you are just another imperfect human. Coming back to my first realization, now I know that expecting acquaintances or even friends to do a therapist's job is not fair. If you don't show people that you want to hang out with them because of your low self-esteem, they won't invite you to parties just in case you secretly want to hang out. They will take your word for it. When you say something mean, they won't challenge you or try to understand you in case being mean is the only way that you learn to communicate and socialize because you come from a dysfunctional family. They all just think, she's mean. It's not their job to dig in, ask questions, and try to understand who you really are behind your mask. They are not your psychologist. It's you and only you who is the sole responsible of the image you create. If you want people to know who you really are, then show it. Tell them what you like and what you don't like. Talk about your interests in every possible situation. If you want to talk to them, call. If you want to hang out, invite them out. If you said something dumb and want to explain, send a message. And I know it's terrifying. You have all these worries like, what if they don't want to hear about my interests? And what if they don't like who I am? But we've already talked about this, right? Like with the parents and the validation and stuff. You have to work on understanding why is that you are ashamed of who you are, and start learning to love that self. And only then you can present it to others and receive a well-deserved, long-needed love for who you really are. And as you can guess from my previous video, I'm definitely not saying that just be yourself and then that's gonna solve all your problems. Well, no, that's not how it works. But by knowing what parts of you that you struggle to show people, you then can actually choose whether you want to show that to people or not, instead of going around complaining that no one's trying to understand this part of you, right? So, and also that doesn't mean that people are going to love and accept you all of a sudden, like automatically, once you just show who you really are. There will be people who are not interested in listening to your real ideas, and there will be people who will not like you for the things that you have to say. And that's okay. The point is not to be accepted and loved by everyone else. The point is to accept and love ourselves. Rejection is not the end of the world. If there's a single deep connection hiding behind 10 rejections, I'll gladly take it. And it's worth it because if you know who you are, you never complain about people not being interested in getting to know you. Because once you're comfortable with your own instinctual way of thinking and acting, that's the version of you that everyone sees from the first second. And that's worth all the effort.